Hello, everyone. It's been a little while. I've been slacking, really. I've been focusing a lot on Star Citizen content. If you're watching that, thank you. But I imagine most of you guys aren't. Welcome back to the LiefX podcast, Lief's Lovely Lounge. I think that's what we landed on. I don't know. Who cares? Either way, thank you guys for coming over here. And if you do want me to focus on this channel a little bit more, there is the option now to join the channel as a member if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Spotify. Just keep doing your thing, you weirdos. But if you want to get a part of the discussion, get on over to the YouTube channel. And again, you'll get access to these. We're recording this on, I believe, a Tuesday. It's not going up for another week onto a Monday. You could have had access to this and looked at our guest for an entire week straight if you were joined as a member. If you can't do that, feel free to just leave some comments. Subscribe, like it if you want. Whatever you want to do, just watch the video. I appreciate the support. Let's not talk anymore. Let's get to our guest. He's been sitting here. I've been staring at him for an hour straight. It's been neither one of us has blinked. It's Mark Exton, a.k.a. Marky Duda, a.k.a. World Champion, the greatest player we've ever seen. What's going on?
Hi. Nothing much is going on.
That's the intro of a World Champion. Hey.
Hi. Yeah. It's been a while. You were in Germany, right? We hung out in Germany. And Saudi Arabia, actually.
Yep. No, we've had a few hangouts, man. You've been keeping to the scene. We'll talk about Rocket League in a little bit here. First, we have to talk about your Decor. You were very proud that of what you've presented with us today.
Yeah. Well, so this is my girlfriend's house, and this study only very recently became mine. So I just did some decorating. I went and put like a grey-brown stain on the wall over there.
What's that from? Should we know?
Something grey or brown. And then we got this door. And up there we got a light. There's no natural light. You don't get natural light in Scotland. So that was necessary.
It just doesn't exist. Not even outside, yeah.
Yeah. And then over here we have that's a bin. That's where my rubbish goes. And then my girlfriend made me this little thing that says, I don't know if you can read backwards, or you probably can't even read normal ways.
No,
anyway.
It says it's fine for us. Yeah, Marley.
It's Marley, yep. Yeah, Marley. Yeah, Marley. Girlfriend doesn't know my name.
Is this your pet name?
Yeah. No, it says Marky actually.
Oh. I thought it said Marley.
Yeah. I didn't realize you weren't joking. You are actually just fucking dumb as shit. So, yeah, that's my little studio. And this is a yoga mat for when I do like 3 minutes of yoga every 4 days.
Hey, you doing yoga?
Yeah, 3 minutes every 4 days.
Every 4 days. Oh, what's your favorite position?
I do one where, like, I'll give you a little demonstration. I'll just pop this headset off and I'll show you my favorite
lay down
position.
and give up. That's my favorite. Okay, so we have yoga demonstration with Marley Duda. He's bringing his headset.
I'll talk you through it. Okay. I'll talk you through it. But I can't bring the headset all the way back. But I'm gonna get one leg over the other, and then like twist, and then my back will crack. And that's my favorite position. I'll do a little demonstration. 1 second.
Yeah. Show it to us. All right. Play by play. Okay. He's got the lay down. This is really good. Hi. I like this. Okay. That's good rotation for the hips. That's a solid. This is when you get old. I think he's over 30. Is he over 30 now? I don't know. You definitely need to make sure you're taking care of your hips.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
So that's my favorite
Are you over 30
position.
yet?
No, I'm 28. But my
close.
spine is well in its 50s. My body is. My body is.
As I said, once you hit 30, man, you really got to take care of those hips. They'll start giving up on you.
Yeah, no, my whole body's been giving up on me for a while now, so it's okay. I'm ready.
Have you been helping it though?
Not a huge amount, no. All I've got left is like, my feet don't hurt. Those are good. Everything else is pretty rough though. My fingers aren't actually.
Actually, that's a big thing. I'm surprised I don't have arthritis or anything yet.
Yeah.
from all the amount of. But most of the game, I mean, imagine. Do you play a lot of control like throughout your life controller games? Because I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, I only ever play controller games. I've been playing hours of controller games every day since I was about 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
so-
Yeah. The thing with the controller is that your hands are naturally like in that position when you're just sitting there.
Yeah, I
You know,
sit
when
like this,
when I
like
talk
on
to
the
people,
train.
this is how I stand.
I look. Sometimes I'm even like pressing buttons. I'm like doing dialogue options in real life. I'm like
This-
abuse X.
Why do you need? You don't need to practice your hand movements, man. There's no mechs to like keep warmed up on.
Yeah, ow. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you.
All right.
Okay, Marley.
Fuck you
Let's.
too.
I mean,
My
I guess that's
girlfriend's
a good
called Marley.
introduction to Rocket League. All right, so Marley Duda, you you are now coaching. You know, you've fallen from the heights of world champion and relegated to coach.
Yeah.
Yep. How have you handled the transition in your
not
personal
well.
life?
No, well.
No, just
No.
a disaster class.
Yeah. The hard drugs have sort of taken the edge off a wee bit, but I think long term, maybe not. Maybe hard drugs isn't the best strategy. But we'll see. I'm writing it out just now.
You're getting yourself prepped up, though. You're already preparing for the white room with just nothing in it.
Yeah. I've got some rubber socks as well, some studded rubber socks that I've been putting on just in case.
We'll get you a nice jacket soon.
Yeah.
Long arms
Hopefully.
that wrap around the back.
But no, the transition from world champion to coach isn't so bad. It's quite easy, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like it's natural, right? Like it's a natural
It's
transition.
natural,
to
yeah. make. And it's easier in a lot of ways, I would say. Like you don't have to grind the game as much.
Right.
There's a little bit more like. It's probably slightly more nerve-wracking because you can't do anything about it. Like I used to get
You don't
nervous
control
when I
anything,
played.
yeah.
Yeah, like I did used to get nervous when I played. But I could play quite well when I was nervous. But now I just get nervous and I have nothing to do with that nervous energy except like, you know, you can motivate your players and like give instructions and talk about like tactics a little bit, but you know, nothing nearly as much as when you could play and you could like actually go and take over the game and like, you know, affect the results. So.
Yeah. That's tough too with because I've seen it with coaches where because they have that moment of like I feel like I'm not doing anything right now because your players are playing fine, so you're like what do I do? So then they overcoach and they just start making stuff up to like say, oh, try this now.
Yeah, I mean sometimes you sort of come up with like a little like, you know, pre-made play that you want them to kind of try out. And then you do it a little bit in like a scrim or something, but then when it comes to like an RLCS, when it comes to a tournament, so many of these like things that you've taught them just go right out the window. Honestly, like if you sit there and teach them all this, that, and the other for a month straight, and then you play RLCS, I guarantee you like solid 60-70% of that's just straight out the window when the actual tournament starts. So I think you kind of have to make sure not to overcomplicate things. And you've got to like drill in the things that you know they should be able to keep up with when it matters, like in a tournament, like things like comms,
like doing aerials.
Yeah, like doing aerials, hitting the ball, like things like communication, where it's like that's probably not. That's one of the things that usually doesn't go out the window if you've practiced it. That usually stays. You know, some more like basic tactical things like, I don't know, back post rotating. Some of the more basic tactical stuff can sometimes stay, but honestly, like. Anything that isn't pretty simple most of the time will just go out the window.
Actually, you don't have to give me like insight specifically to you know to your team's you know comms and that, but like what across the board, what's like we always talk about comms, like talking, like communication. Is it as simply as just as simple as saying what you're doing, or is there like ways to make sure you're not overcomplicating you're saying what you're doing? Is there specific people that talk at certain times? I know for a while NRG had the idea that whoever's third man talked a bit more because they could see more of the field. Like is there like a comms meta that people have landed on, or is it still pretty unique across teams?
I'd say you'd probably find most teams' columns are fairly similar across the board, but there's a couple of things that some teams miss out on. For instance, like I can be quite an advocate for like predictive columns, if that makes sense. So like if you're second man.
Right.
If first man's making a play like taking a 50 on the wall or like dribbling on the wall or something like that, and you're sort of second man's waiting mid, I like having second man say I'm next, so that you don't have third man coming in and like trying, causing a double commit, or having someone say like I'm covering mid pass, or I'm covering mid, or I'm watching left side, I'm watching right side, or I'll wait, I'll watch high, blah blah blah, just so that your other teammate, who's sort of probably third man, is knowing what to expect after the play that's happening right now.
Right.
I think quite a few teams miss out on that, and maybe that's probably what causes a lot of double commits. I find when you have players saying things like I'm next, or I'm covering pass, or I'll cover high, I'll cover flip reset, blah blah blah, and then you usually have less double commits, and things run a little bit more smoothly, and you're a bit more ready to counterattack if you get the ball off them, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean?
How do you ever have problems with? Because I have problems with this. People calling something like, "Hey, I'm covering mid," and then not committing to covering their mid, and then you still get the double commit anyways. Like I'm at mid, but by the time they've said it, the play's already moved on, and they try to make a new decision, and that calm now throws off whoever third man was. Like how do you cover for that? Do you stick to saying it, or because then it takes away the chance to adjust to a play that's developed?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of just being bad, honestly. Like you.
Okay,
like
so that is a me problem.
Like if you're that is a you problem. If you're calling I'm covering mid, and then you just fucking don't. That is just you're just shite, really. Like I mean it'll happen every now and then. Sometimes you call I'm covering mid and the ball will just be a little bit out of reach, and then it's up to your sort of other teammate to adapt and like cover your ass. But like if that's consistently happening, you're just shite basically, and that's a big problem. That's not like, that's not like bad strategy or bad tactics. That's just shite play. You know what I mean?
All right. So next time I say I'm rotating back post, I'm just gonna stay there for the rest of the match.
Well,
so my teammates know what I'm doing.
It's not quite what I meant, but
okay. Well,
not quite what I meant.
It's 1 or 0, man, for me.
But like if you're saying rotate back post and then you start piddling around mid, that is your bad. You know what I mean?
Well, where's the radius of back post end? Like no one's ever like clarified that.
I guess between the halfway point of the goal and the edge of the box, I guess. So the edge of the box, halfway point in the goal, and then the other edge of the box, I guess, would be back post. I don't know. I've never had to explain where the back post is to anyone before. Most people know that.
They're paying you too much. They're not challenging you enough. Never had to talk about.
Yeah, I've never had to coach anyone challenged. That's what the problem is.
You don't want to see gameplay. For coaching a team like this, actually, this is interesting because sleep schedules are always an interesting thing when it comes to gamers in general. Now you're also coaching a team in a completely other region from you. Mm-hmm. Has that been difficult to adjust, or did it just line up with a shit schedule that you've had?
No, it kind of worked out because we work on Singapore time zone, and 5 p.m. Singapore time is 9 a.m. UK time, and our scrims are usually 5 p.m. give or take an hour or two. So like,
right.
It's not terrible. I don't love waking up at 7 a.m., but like I can do it. It's not like I'm waking up at like 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, it actually kind of works out. Like I'm usually up at 9, give or take, and that's not
okay. That's not bad.
It's not terrible. Yeah, I am a bit of a degenerate, but I can handle 9 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like, getting up for 7:30 for the RLCS EU show days was surprisingly less difficult than I thought it would be. But it's definitely, my body fights me. It's definitely not happy with it. I mean, I got gamer hours. Like I'm usually waking up at like noon.
It helps, to be fair, since I've sort of moved in with my girlfriend. She has a normal sleep schedule, so and she has we have dogs as well, so like
That'll get you. Yeah.
they're wee fuckers. They'll wake you up.
What kind of dogs you got?
2 Daxies. So a normal. I'm not really a dog. I don't really know much about dogs, but we've got like a regular size.
I don't either. I
Dachshund.
don't know why I asked the question.
A wiener dog. That's what you used to call it. A wiener dog.
Oh, wiener dog.
So
Yeah.
A full size wiener dog, and then like a small wiener dog. So like a Lief wiener
like a mini
dog, and
Dachshund?
then a wiener dog. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. I had a mini Dachshund when I was younger, long-haired mini Dachshund. Molly, she pissed all over the place all the time.
Well, ours we can. Well, my girlfriend can train dogs. She knows how to train dogs.
Well, I was a kid.
Like
It wasn't my responsibility to train the dog.
That's fair. I'll get it. That's fair.
That one wasn't on me. She ate through half of my. Oh, bro. She kept eating through all my controller cables.
Wow. What
I got PS2 and all that. Yeah.
Like, is there nothing else to chew through, man? Of all the things to chew through.
It's just the controller cables.
Yeah, like, why
Target
couldn't
those
she chew through like
specifically.
socks or like, I don't know, you wouldn't be that fussed if she chewed through a pair of socks, but your controller cables.
Probably not, because like I lose those all the time.
Yeah, plus yours are full of cum anyway half the time.
it's not mine. What have you been doing to my socks?
Yeah.
No, hey, you know what? That's a great transition. But what I was gonna say, one of my favorite moments of my memories of you. I have a couple. One, Niagara Falls, hanging out with you in Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was such a good time,
that was a
man.
blast. The other one of my first memories of you was, I think it was season 2. When you, I forget who you were playing with, but you just kept yelling as you're trying to get your penis tip in each other's butts. Genital jousting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was great because I just like, this guy has no boundaries. It's just, you were full in on that.
No, my filter's gotten better, but no, it's not one of my strengths. Is not my filter, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I think that's what's fun. It's interesting too because there's other people that like. I mean, because you joke around, you have fun, and initially, I've actually found sometimes that, and I wonder if you found people this way too, where it can be intimidating because they don't know how to handle your jokes. Do you ever find people can early on shut down because they can't keep up with maybe the banter sometimes?
I mean, maybe.
Like
I think briefly, yeah, but I think after a bit they realize I'm just
a
freak.
So,
It's
yeah.
fine. You can you can give it back if
It's
you
just
want.
weird.
You don't have to give it back if you don't want. You can just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm harmless. I think it becomes clear pretty quickly. I'm harmless. Just fucking.
Yeah. He's not gonna do anything. He's got one yoga move. He's fine.
I'm just yeah. I think usually people are fine. Very, maybe a bit taken back at first, but fine after not long at all.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I just say it because like from my experience, like people, for instance, like Turbo Pulsa, where whenever you talk, it's just the jokes immediately. Like it's just every answer is a meme or a joke, and then I always wonder, to make this person enjoy my company, do I have to meme back? Do I have to keep up? Because I can't always do it, right? If I go serious all of a sudden, do they hate me? And it was just interesting. I wanted to ask from your perspective as more of a jokester, if you had seen that from people.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just haven't noticed it, to be honest. But like, you can just I don't know. To be honest, I'm not a very judgy person. Like, you can be however you want to be,
Right.
and I'll still just make shite jokes nonstop, however you are. I'm
No,
not
that's what made it fun, is because like I there was definitely times I couldn't keep up, but it never was just like your demeanor towards me never changed after that. Then we would get into more serious conversations and that. So it's just an interesting dynamic I wanted to see from your perspective.
It's also a wee bit cultural, like British people,
Definitely.
and Scottish people, like
Yeah.
like 90% of the time you're talking is just like jokes. You don't
It's
really,
banter.
you just speak and like you just communicate via jokes and banter, and I think it's just quite cultural. You just like
no, it is, and like
I was just saying, it's very rare that you actually have a full blown serious conversation. You just talk shit all the
me
time.
shitting on you at the beginning was like that goes against the grain of like North American culture. Like there was a piece of me inside that's like, well, you can't say that, and I'm like, yeah, but I can. You know, like he's gonna get it. But it really is a cultural thing. North Americans, there's a joke on the EU broadcast now because I work with just Europeans all the time, so it's just banter forever. And there was a joke they have where on North American broadcast, someone will make fun of someone and then immediately after go, no, I'm just kidding. And so now we get points docked from each other anytime you say, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing around. I'm just kidding. No, commit to the. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to clarify, you know. This is
because if someone actually gets offended, it's like, well, then just bring it up. Talk about adults after, right? But
yeah. Or just punch them.
Commit to the bit. Yeah, just start fighting.
Just
that's
on stream.
On land. We if we had to put all the RLCS players into a boxing ring at LAN to decide seeding, who's winning, who gets number 1 seed.
Oh god, they're all so young.
We're taking coaches out of the mix because there's a couple of your coaches that I know you'll be at number 1, but
no, I don't think I'll snask him for.
You'll pull up the yoga mat and people will be like, oh shit, I give up.
Yeah. Oh god, I don't know. I'm not even that. How many of them are even like over 18? To be honest, how many players have even finished puberty? That's the part I'm struggling with. Who's even? Oski's pretty huge.
You're struggling with puberty.
No, puberty was fine. Well, I got through it, but like,
you survived.
I got through it. Like, yeah, it could have been worse. But I guess maybe Oxygen. Oski's big. Ixo is normal sized. Archie's like normal sized, like ish. You know, like they're the only team I can think of that doesn't have at least one like absolute like 14-year-old tiny person on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Teams with. It's not like back in the day where it was like teams that like. It just didn't look like esports teams, you know what I mean? It was like Pashy and Fairy Peak.
And Pashy and Snasky, yeah.
It looked like an MMA club or whatever, you know what I mean? Like it's Fairy Peak, Pashy and Devo standing across from you, you're like, guys.
Yeah, that's true. Even he wasn't like jacked or anything, but even Devo was like twice the height of everyone in the room.
Yeah, you just like, I don't know. It doesn't matter how when you're like 6'7", you don't have to be jacked to be a little bit scary. You just big
right.
Like there's just a lot of leverage there. You
just start windmilling.
If it's a skinny arm, it's a lot of leverage there. You just start like flailing
hurt,
about.
No matter how much.
Yeah, you'll hit something. Start flailing about at that side.
Okay, but yeah, because there is a lot of like. It's younger now too. I mean, like we have like our first like 14-year-olds and stuff in the RLCS now. How do you feel about that? Because like as a coach now, that's obviously adds a new element to you. Like we've talked about it. I was always a proponent of upping the age to 18 before. So, but for you, you have a different dynamic. I just have to interview a 13-year-old, whereas you have to work with them potentially in the future. You know, like how do you feel about this?
Yeah,
the face, the smile says it all.
as a you know, the younger players coming through, as a coach, it has its challenges. I mean, as a coach, I'm starting to think maybe I'm getting a little bit too old just to be a coach in Rocket League in general, because like you want to be able to relate to your players on some level, and it's like my current team, it's fine. My current team are all a wee bit older. Well, not, you know, by Rocket League standards, they're all in their 20s.
Oh yeah.
Is one of them maybe 19? They're all like, you know, 19 at youngest. I think they're all 20, 21, and it's like, you know, I'm a bit older than that, but I can at least still like relate to them on some level. But like, if I had to,
they're all like over 20 now.
Yeah. If I had to coach like a 13, 14-year-old, I'm sure I could be helpful to them, but it's just getting to the point where it's like maybe. You know, maybe they would just benefit more from someone a wee bit younger, you know.
Yeah. It is tough because it's not like you can't. People across different ages can't interact with each other. It's just the problem is that the things that you're interested in are so drastically different that those common interests, having just a normal conversation becomes.
Cut that down as well.
Cut that out. This whole thing is just gonna be a 5-minute segment of you doing a yoga move, and then the episode ends.
Cut to the end.
Let's go. Have you ever thought of doing stand up?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I'd maybe give it a go for a laugh one day, but I don't know.
I feel like just you, because I don't know, you're straight faced to a lot of stuff, allows jokes to hit and even get hit uncomfortably, and then you have a perfect little laugh that I think just like. I've seen comedians do this before. One little laugh they laugh at their own jokes. So everyone's like, okay, we're all on the same page here. And then you move to the next. I don't know. I think you could probably do stand up.
I have thought about it a tiny bit, but like, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. Stand up in Edinburgh is actually quite I don't know if you've heard of the Fringe.
Not quite. It's like a band, but.
No, it's like a summer comedy festival in Edinburgh, and you sometimes you get quite a lot of like free shows there. You get a lot of free shows there, and like you can get like comedians that go up and don't charge anything, and they can be shite and it's fine 'cause you're not paid anything. And I've thought about I've thought about maybe trying that out, but like there's just a lot of me in Scotland. There's just a lot of funny people in Scotland. You know what I mean? I'm just not
right.
It's just not actually that rare to be funny in Scotland. So I don't know.
Well, it's because the accent. You just sound silly.
You just sound fucking dumb, yeah. And it's just like the national pastime for Scotland. There's like three. There's like alcohol abuse,
drinking,
sports, and then verbal abuse. It's like it's ingrained in the culture from a young age to just like. Yeah. You know, insult people and just talk shite and just joke.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just not that rare in Scotland, I think, in my opinion. But maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter if you're rare in Scotland. It matters if you got a platform now. All right, I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna get your material together. Mm-hmm. I have like 10 viewers. We're gonna get you. Oh, wow. I got a big platform for you to stand on. We're gonna do your set. So in general, do you just working with players and seeing what the struggles and stress they have to go through, and being a player yourself too? Like how old were you? You were in your 20s when you were when you were
so 19 to 23, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So for any of your players right now are over 20, but they're still in that phase of like developing, finishing their brain's not complete yet. Have you seen troubles just across the board, like people struggling, like a 16-year-old, 19-year-old dealing with that? I mean, 'cause people just are weird and they send death threats to these kids and stuff from time to time, right? Like, have you seen people struggle to deal with that? Like,
I've definitely seen players struggle to deal emotionally and mentally generally, but I would say specifically things like getting abusive messages and death threats and all that. Honestly, like if you've grown up playing online video games, just bounces off you. Honestly, it's kind of normal. It's kind of normal. Honestly, like yes, I've had players who struggle with mental health and aren't doing so hot emotionally, but it's not because of shit people are saying online. It's because it's because they sit in their house all day playing video games. It's because they're depressed teenagers. It's not because things people. I'm sure there's.
So, well, you guys heard it here first. Keep sending death threats.
It's fine.
It doesn't affect the players at all.
Honestly,
it's just I'm rubber.
Some of them need to hear it, but realistically.
Light a fire under there.
Yeah, keep them humble.
But I wonder if. Well, I feel like our people are just generally people that have issues with mental health tend towards video games. Like that always kind of was that escape. So I feel like it's more common in our field than most others.
Yeah, I would agree. Because like generally video games, well, not video games generally, but like playing video games as much as you have to be professional and high level does usually appeal more to people who are a bit depressed and don't really get out much and, have things to escape from maybe. So yeah, I would say it's probably more, you probably see more depressed people in esports than, your average medium.
Also, just not having an actual connect. I mean, like, sure, we talk to each other, what we're doing right now, but it's like when this is done, we hang up and we're back into our room with
caves,
white walls.
Yeah, mostly white walls. Yeah.
Yeah. We get face to face during LANs and that, but beyond that, it's not there. So it's even when we do have friends and connections, you're not getting that like primal thing that you need in that face to face.
Yeah, no, and you definitely see it affecting people in our circles quite a lot, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's just let everyone just be depressed and sad for a moment.
Yeah.
Get on our level.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. On a happy note, let's go way back. Psyonix stopped doing this, but for a while there was a couple of things people would get items in game, and most people should know you because you would love to do your eyebrow thing, and you got an item in game. Yeah, there it is. If you didn't know, if you're listening now and you guys only started watching the RLCS and stuff more recently, you wouldn't have known that those eyebrows in game were because of Marky. Yeah. And I imagined you didn't mind much because at that time I think a lot of you guys were, well, I know you guys specifically took the piss out of the game quite there was some less seriousness back then. But obviously as the esport grew, having something after you in the game as you got older, did that change its like sentimental value at all to you?
No, I always really liked having something in the game. I was always really proud of it. I didn't like.
That's
people
cool.
People would say like, "Oh, shouldn't you be getting money from that? Didn't you want to charge for that?" I was like, "No, I'm just really chuffed to have something in the game at all." Honestly, there's only 2 people that have an item in the game. I think still, it's just me and Crow still, right?
You. I don't think. Yeah, no, because like Jacob, that was already in there. He just took the foam hat and made it his thing. Yeah. Gabe, same with the pirate hat. So actual in-game items. Well, I mean, for players, Dave's bread's in there, but he doesn't count because he's the developer. He put everything in there.
Put whatever he wants in there.
Yeah.
Could have put a perfect. Stop that. Yeah.
What were we?
Just gonna say another thing you'd probably have to edit out. It's fine. Just.
Okay. I didn't hear it. No one heard it.
No, I didn't finish. It was one of those thoughts when my filter kicked in at the right time for once.
You learned? Okay.
Yeah.
Who has anyone? Have you had to bid self-filter? Like, did someone ever have to sit you down and be like, "All right, you gotta chill a bit"?
Probably more than once, I think. Yeah.
Did you get reprimanded? Yeah. A little slap on the butt.
I don't think I got molested, but I got told to calm down. I think a couple times. I can't remember specifically, but it's probably happened more than once, honestly. Especially back when it was worse. Hasn't happened in a while. I can actually stop myself saying things, for the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
We're on like a maybe 20% filter.
Cut that out, please.
We're gonna have nothing left by the end of this. Oh my god, that's too great. I had another thing I forgot. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you because I said my favorite moments with you. What have your do you have any like favorite moments being in this world of esports? Like even if it just happened to be like a place you got to go to and stay and experience, doesn't have to be RL specific. Like what's standout moments? I mean,
with you specifically,
it doesn't have to be with me.
Great time. Oh well. Well, that was great. Niagara Falls was great.
That was fun. Yeah, we're on a fucking boat.
Yeah, with a pint. Just got a pint on a boat under a big waterfall. That was great. Yeah, just like honestly, anytime I just get to hang out with like the Rocket League people, like I love the Rocket League people, all the casters, a bunch of the players, a bunch of the ex-players. some of the fans. Like, I just any chance I get to just hang out and, you know, have a couple of drinks or just have a coffee with any of these guys, it's just really good. All those memories, very fun memories. Amsterdam's obviously a big one because we won the World Championships.
Right. Yeah,
It's just a fun place to be. Yeah, honestly, like none of them are like stand out. I just loved all of them, really, to be honest. First one was a bit special because it was like meeting people who I'd been speaking online to, and it was like, oh, well, this is actually going to be a thing that affects this is real. So that was kind of a bit special, but like, nah, like they're just all really good, honestly.
Did you see it as well? This things would get as big as they did, like leading up to like Dusseldorf, and that world's like, because we started in this tiny club with like 500 people watching.
Yeah. I honestly have always thought, even when it was SARP, I've always thought this is, for me,
it's got potential.
This is the esport. This is the only game I think deserves to even be called an esport. You know what I mean? This is the only game that's actually like close to sport, in my opinion. I'm obviously a little bit biased, obviously a wee bit of bias there, but like even during SARP, I was like, this game should be huge, and I knew it would get. I was pretty confident it would get pretty big. Once it started picking up pace, I was like, this game's gonna get big because this is built for esport. This game, it's like the purest esport there is out there. And maybe didn't quite predict that there would be like ultras in like Dusseldorf. You had like tifos and like super fans. I maybe didn't predict that, but like I knew it would be big. Honestly, I really always was confident it was going to be big because it's just really good. Honestly,
what's your in terms of like the game, a change that you to the core element of Rocket League? Do you have any takes? What's your hottest take or controversial take, or do you think it's perfect the way it is?
No, I do think, and I've always thought it was a mistake when they stopped, when they got rid of the alternative maps. I've always thought it was a mistake, in my opinion, that just sticking to the one basic pitch. I'd always disagreed with that. And obviously Rocket League had a lot of success regardless, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I've always thought I would enjoy it more as a viewer and as a player if the maps had more variety. I've always thought that was a mistake. I think the Psionics maybe wimped out a wee bit with pressure from the community, because the community at the time was kind of against it, but that's because they were shite, honestly, because like there was ramps and weird bumps and they couldn't hit the ball after going up the ramp.
They were too different.
They were just shite. The players just weren't good. Like, if you went into a good lobby, you'd have seen people utilizing all the environment and all the obstacles, and you'd have been like, this is fucking sick. But because the vast majority of people were fucking wank at Rocket League, they complained about it, and then Psionics buckled, and I think they missed out big time. I think if you could go in, watch a Rocket League series and have, 5, 6, 7 different maps, I think it would be a bit more interesting to watch, in my opinion.
I think it was definitely a design or like a lowest common denominator thing of majority of our players, as you said, are casual, cannot play. So if this map shows up in rotation, then, I mean, that's how flip resets turned into a thing, or the ceiling shot turned into a thing, was because the timer on Neo Tokyo, people would, like, terrible players would fly off, and they'd be like, where's my jump? Yeah. So they had to add that if you get knocked into the air or you're in the air without jumping, you have an infinite timer on it. So catering to the lowest common denominator did help it excel the skill ceiling in a way, but also we lose out on the maps. Because I'm with you. I'm 100% in favor of non-standard maps. Because I came from Smash Bros. And maps could play quite a significant role in how a character deals with a matchup, right? And I always love the idea of doing band pick phases as well. Like, okay, you've got your standard map pool, then you have these non-standards that are in there. So do you want to ban the non-standards? Didn't we try that in like mid-season mayhem or something?
I think we did.
Yeah. We didn't do band picks, but we did do the non-standards.
We did. There was a brief period of time where there was like Wasteland and a couple other. I think that another part of the issue was that when they introduced some of the non-standard maps, they introduced like Wasteland, which maybe just wasn't that fun, because it was like the sides were sloped up, and it wasn't really that different. It was just slightly annoying, and it just meant the ball. It was just not very good, and I think that was a big part of the issue, is that the map they did introduce was not that good. If they just had Neo Tokyo, I thought Neo Tokyo was a good map. I thought it was a fun map. If they just had like Neo Tokyo to this day, if they had Neo Tokyo and some other decent map with like a good actual decent obstacles, like was it called Cosmic or something? I think it actually could have. People probably would have been more okay with it, but but they didn't.
Yeah, no, there's there's been some maps too that I've seen that in the workshop that the community's made that are like just different, and they're not like crazy where they have like shit flying around and stuff, but it's just different enough that I'm like, this feels viably competitive, based on what I've seen here.
Because there was a stadium as well where you could go behind the goal, and I think. But
they didn't like. They said that, because they did their QA test and said that like players would get stuck behind the net, and I'm like, are you playing with like bronze players? Like, who's getting stuck behind the net?
They should have stuck to their guns. They were too worried about what the community wouldn't have even taken that long to adapt. It would have, honestly, if you'd have stuck with it for like a month, 2 months, people would have shut up about it and just gotten good and just learned strategies, and the game would just have a lot more variety today than it does right now.
And I get, if you have a design philosophy of always listen to the community and their overall feedback, then sure. But the thing is that even making Rocket League in the first place wasn't a listen to the community situation, because a lot of people during alpha weren't you guys complaining that it felt too slow, like but they said no, we're sticking to it. Like they stuck to their guns, but then they switched that philosophy come non-standard.
Yeah, the alpha did feel the alpha. They were right. I thought the alpha.
They were right.
Slow.
Yes.
Yeah, the alpha was really. I mean, it is compared to SARP, it is really slow, but but that's the thing. We were shite at the alpha. You know what I mean? We didn't realize that actually you can make the game quite fast if you get quite good. And they should have stuck with their guns. Like they were right. They were right about the alpha being. I honestly still think the game could be a little bit quicker, and you could maybe have the ball ping a little bit harder. But they were.
You think even with how fast people get like backboard clears, like you can get the whole court backboard clears now.
Yeah, but I think that's personal preference. That's less me being like they're wrong, and like with the maps thing, I think they were just fucking wrong. But with the physics, I think like that's like subjective. And honestly, like given that the game took off and is successful as it is, I think they probably could claim that they're objectively right. So, but personally, I still would like a little bit more speed in the ball, but that's fine. But they didn't stick with their guns when it came to the maps thing. The physics they got right. They stuck to their guns. They didn't listen to us fucking idiots. And then the maps came along, and they were like, "This time we'll listen to the fucking idiots." And
right. And that's what I'm saying. It was a philosophy change, right?
Yeah, and like they always had a lot of success. So maybe I'm wrong, but I do think we are missing out on a lot of variety and different beautiful Rocket League players coming from different environments. Like from around like on Stadium, for instance, you can like ramp off the back of the goal, maybe to reach a ball that's on the ceiling pinch it, just do crazy shit like that. But we're just missing out on it because we just stuck to the boring old same map over and over again.
If you guys watch on YouTube, let us know. You want non-standard, not non-standard? What do you want? Tell us. Give us your opinions. I'll read them all. I'll force Marky to read them too.
I can't read.
I'll read them to you. Bedtime story.
Okay, that's fine.
It's Grandpa Marley. On the way out here, I don't want to keep it too long, but I want to get outside Rocket League a little bit. Okay. Talk about some other stuff. So we know you do yoga.
Yeah.
What else?
One of my passions.
What else is Mr. Mark doing?
I masturbate quite frequely.
Right, that's a common thing.
I also play chess.
At the same time?
No, actually. No.
Oh, you should try it.
Quite I'm quite proud of my rating, so I feel like it would be quite distracting.
It's speed chess. You have to finish your move before they finish theirs.
So yeah, I play chess. I also play badminton sometimes. Go to the gym a little bit.
Oh, badminton,
which
nice.
I should. Yeah.
My buddy was quite into badminton. He was a top player in Canada, and then he went to train in China. And
They kick the fuck
those
out
guys
of
are fucking crazy at badminton.
Yeah. No, I never competed. I just play recreationally.
You just by playing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the main things. I just sport and chess and a couple other video games as well, obviously. But those are the main things that I do outside of Rocket League.
Yeah, I try to play. I'm looking forward to LANs again because like that's where I get most of my chess playing in. I get shit on by everyone,
Yeah,
but
you suck.
yeah,
You're pretty poo-poo
yeah.
at chess.
Yeah,
I think when we
play
played,
enough.
it was like we got to like. Did you make it to 10 moves? I don't think you did make it to 10 moves.
Against you, I can't remember. I play so little.
I think it was like move 7, and I did checkmate. I think.
It wasn't that soon.
It was pretty fucking immediate.
But what? Okay, I don't know. I have a different memory of this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live in my lie.
Well, it was quick. It was quick.
Okay, you said other games. What's your think through your career? What is your greatest gaming sin? Like, have you cheated at something? Have you given the controller to someone else to play for you in an online match without telling you? Like, what's your greatest gaming sin?
Back in pub, I did this in PUBG and Warzone. You know, if you waited till the end of the drop, all the AFKs would drop.
Yeah.
To pad my KD, and just because it was kind of funny, I would just wait till the end and just lay into all the AFKs and just bash the shit out of the AFKs in PUBG, and I kept doing it in Call of Duty as well. Usually,
Bro's just on a genocide.
just smashing AFKs. But that was always good for 3 kills. So
I gotta feel good about myself.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
that's good.
You know, KD of like 2-1, but only 10% of the players I've killed actually were holding the controller. But that's okay.
That's great. I remember back in the day, I used to when I was a teenager, I guess this would be win trading. My in Metroid on the DS, Hunters Prime, the rank system, me and my brother figured out how to abuse it, and we both got to the highest rank by playing against each other in lobbies. But I forget how it worked. It was like if you placed in certain positions, you would win more than you would ever lose in another position. So we just traded who was winning in the lobbies to get to the highest rank.
Well done.
I'm realizing as I get older, that was win trading, yeah.
That was just straight win trading, yeah, I was about to say. That's what that's called. There's a name for that.
I also used to glitch through walls and kill people from inside the walls.
Nice.
So they couldn't fight back. Yeah, I was a little shit.
Trying to think if I ever glitched. I don't think I ever glitched, abused, or anything like that. I don't think. I would go over to my mate's house. This is back in the SARP days, and my mate would play like ranked 1v1s, and if things started going bad, he'd pass it to me. But that's as bad as it ever got.
Oh, I got to tell you, this here's an opinion I have that a lot of people might disagree with. I'm gonna have a lot of people hate me for this one. I am under the. Anyway. Well, that's true. It'll get worse now. I'm under the core belief that if there is a bug in the game, third-party software, that's a no-go, right? Like if you're using third-party software, it's a wall hack and all that. No-go. That's cheating. That's banned. But if it's in the game, and I can do what I can just do, anybody could do it. I don't believe that that's bannable or punishable. I believe that's a developer's responsibility to fix it. And because it's just the meta, right? How do I know as a player that that's not supposed to be a thing? We've seen it in, I was playing the finals recently and people are complaining about nukes. You can put C4 on a throwable canister, throw it at people, and it one-shots people. And everyone's like, this is you deserve to go to hell if you're doing this. And I'm like, first off, they showed it in their trailers that you can do this. They explicitly said you could do this. But also, how are you as a player supposed to know that that's not a thing you can do? It's in the game world, right? If I find a way to wall jump, how do I know that's not a thing? I think it's explicitly the developer's responsibility to fix exploits, and they should not ever be punishing players for it.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah. There's some dodgy ones. I remember in Bad Company 2, you could like phase, like, was it underground? You could like phase through a building and then shoot people from inside the building, and they couldn't shoot back. That's a bit dodgy.
Okay, yeah.
You maybe
I
shouldn't
did
get
that
banned.
in Resistance.
Yeah, you maybe shouldn't get banned, but you are slightly scummy if you do that. You know.
Yeah, you can have an opinion of me. That's fine. But I don't think players should be punished for it, though. In Resistance, I met my first ever PlayStation 3 friend because of a bug and my attitude towards it. And I've always held this, I realize now I've always held this attitude towards bugs, that I got killed by someone on a map. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? And a guy got on the voice comm in the lobby. He's like, yo, I'm inside the wall. You want to see how I did this? I'm like, yeah, show me, man. So he spent the rest of the lobby showing me how to. It was very, oh my God, this was crazy. Okay, so there's a spot outside the map that you could jump out of if you climbed onto a specific bus. Then there was a grenade you could throw down that when you threw it down, there was a phase where it would go and put out gas in a big gas cloud. And then after about 5 seconds, it would ignite and the whole thing would go and flame and kill anything in its area. So if you threw that specific grenade at the edge of the map when you were outside of it already, ran at it, jumped so that when it went off, you were in the air and your body fell off the map, ragdolling, when you respawned, you would be invisible.
Nice.
Right. So he showed me how to do this. I'm like, this is so cool. And we bonded. And to this day, that guy still comes through my Twitch chat 20 years later. And this is, you know, he's still in the community. And I think that's, we did that over bonding over a bug. And so I always have like a good kind of like in my psyche, a good, a positive attitude toward bugs and exploits.
Yeah, because it's the only way you can make friends.
That's the one thing by being a terrible human being.
Yeah, the only way anyone would agree to spend time with you was if you were both cheating.
But it says something about the friends I make, I guess.
Yeah.
All that.
And you,
the scum of the earth.
Yeah.
What other games are you playing right now?
Ballastro. Don't know if you heard of that.
I heard of it. Is that the one that was made by? It's a card game, but the guy's never looked at a card game before, right?
I haven't looked too much. It is a card game, yeah. I haven't looked too much into the backstory of how it got made, but yeah, it is a card game. It's like a deck building roguelite, but your deck's a deck of like, you know, playing cards. So 52 playing cards, your aces and kings and queens and jacks and all that. So I really like that. That's really good. And I'm playing through The Last of Us again with my girlfriend.
Oh, nice. The first one, yeah.
Well, we just finished the second one. We're doing it in the wrong order because we're fucking dumb. So we just finished the second one, and now we're doing the first one again.
But you played them originally in the right order.
Yeah, originally in the right order, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went to replay the second one, and then I was like, oh, I kind of want to replay the first one now, so now I'm replaying the first one.
That's awesome. Yeah. Tesla just played them for the first time recently, so that we could watch the show.
I thought the show was really good. I really liked the show.
That was fucking brilliant, dude.
I thought they, honestly, for the most part, I thought the show, everything that they changed, I think they changed for the better. Pretty much, I would say. Except maybe they kind of got rid of the spores and the gas masks, but I quite like that about the game. But other than that,
yeah, but they did have the
detail.
Yeah, they had the whole, they kind of added the whole, you know, they can sense you because the fungus is through the whole, like it's a network, right? So that if you step on the wrong thing, these guys come after you.
Yeah. No, I thought the show was pretty perfect, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The 12-year-old boy in me maybe could have done with slightly more action scenes and more fights, but Like, honestly, it was a bit.
I'll give you that, because right off the bat, we got the zombie at the beginning that was like running through the diner. That was some of the sickest zombie chases I've ever seen. Like the way that thing moved was fucking wild. That was unhinged.
And then obviously in the game, there's like loads and loads and loads of combat scenes and combat moments. So I thought we were going to get a bit more of that, but like they still did.
I imagine that's why they wanted to pull it back. Because I mean, if you think about it, ultimately, Last of Us is just about telling human stories, right? I mean, what are the things and trials that humans go through? You know, the first one was the idea of loss of a child and trying to reconcile that and fix your mistakes or try to make up for the mistakes you've made, but then also feeling isolated. And then, you know, the second one is there's a lot of loss to deal with. There's just a lot of human stories to it, which is why I love the changes. I mean, like even episode 3 in the show was so cool because like they kind of touched on it in the game, but they didn't really tell that story. So then being able to get that story was like really cool.
It's episode 3, the one with Ron Swanson.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that one made me bawl my little eyes out.
I
There's much more depressing in the game. We just got past that part of the game with my girlfriend, and it was like, wow, that's way more depressing. Like,
now you got the backstory.
Yeah, the show's this like beautiful love story between a gay couple. It's just like perfect and poignant and beautiful. And then in the game, it's like, I hate you so much, I fucking killed myself. It's just so fucking brutal. It's maybe a bit of a spoiler. Like, it's just like the game's been out fucking, 10 years now. But like...
Yeah, I think at this point, just spoiler warning, if anybody's listening, spoiler warning here for Last of Us.
For what I just said 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, right.
But,
what if there's any more? But I think overall that I'm excited to see people's reactions to season 2.
Yeah, a lot of people did not. There was a shitload of hate for the second game.
Yeah,
so much hate.
I mean, it's just because, I mean, again, the people. What I loved about it is that it just shows how brutal and real this world is, right?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the second game.
And that's what I loved about the first one is like if you really think about it, Joel is not the good guy. Joel is he's the bad guy.
He's not a great dude,
right? And I think people forget about that because you play as him. You're like, oh well, he's the protagonist. I have to like him. But if you look at what he's done, and they don't go into his past a lot too, but like again, he's not the good guy.
Yeah.
And what he does at the end is pretty selfish.
Yeah, and like in the second game, there isn't really a good guy. No one in the second game is really kind of all pretty shitty people for the most part in the second game. But you still end up relating to them and feeling attached to them and being able to see things from their point of view. And I don't know, they did a good job.
Well, you realize life is gray. And I think that's what's cool about telling these kind of stories, right? Like there isn't you're a good guy, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We found out that, you know, I'm for most people an angel, but found out that I used to go invisible in Resistance Fall of Man and kill people while I was invisible.
Yeah.
And you punch AFKers.
Yeah. I do.
Look at us, just absolute shit humans.
Yeah. Not to mention all the horrible shit we do outside of video games.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
numerous.
I go out and I punch the homeless people every day.
Yeah. I bet the homeless people
he says, rubbish.
Yeah.
All right. On the way out, I'm going to say about 3 or 5 words here. And I just want you to give me the first word that comes to mind when you say these. Let's get a look at your inner psyche. All right. Rapid fire. I'll just do 3 of them. Okay. Success.
Can we start again?
You're supposed to be faster with this. Success.
Well, the first word that came into my head is me, but I don't want to say that because I don't.
No, you have to. You have to say that. No,
I
we're
don't
gonna find out
consider
you're an
myself
egotistical
successful,
prick.
No.
Yeah. No. Okay. Success. Consciousness.
Fuck knows. Honestly, I don't know. Am I failing this test? What's the
I
first
think
word that
so.
comes? Consciousness. I don't know. I don't know. What fucking Aristotle? I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Your true passion.
Oh god, that's depressing. That I don't know what my true passion is.
Okay. Well, we've gone some soul searching, deep soul searching on the way out.
Yeah, I guess just fucking kill myself. Apparently,
Maybe it's yoga. Maybe we got to do some
it's not yoga.
downward dogs.
Yeah. Well, that was an unfortunate end to the show. That was depressing.
Yeah, I just had to make sure that we were on the same level.
No, just got no passion. No, don't egotistical, and I haven't considered my own consciousness. I haven't reflected on myself at all. That's what we learned.
Bro's an NPC.
Thanks for that, Lief.
You're welcome.
Egotistical NPC.
Might as well go punch yourself.
I might.
AFK NPC.
Yeah.
What a wonderful way to end things off.
Has
Hey,
anyone ever done well at that word association game? Has anyone ever done well at that word association game?
you were the
What do
first
other
person I
people
tried
say?
it on.
Well, scrap it. It just makes your guests feel bad.
You put us. I can't cut more out of this episode.
Please. Just drop. Don't subject any of your prayer guests to that ever anymore because it just makes them feel bad about themselves. Realize hard truths about themselves. No, but not fun for no one. And
it's fun for the viewers.
The third thing. Yeah.
They told me to make my guests feel more pain.
As if coming on and talking to you for an hour isn't enough.
Well done. Let's end things off here. Mr. Marley Duda, thank you for joining me. I can't wait to see you at I'm going to sound really ignorant if I got this wrong. You guys will be at Copenhagen, correct?
Nope.
Or no?
No, we got knocked out.
No, oh no. Looking more depressing.
Fuck it.
Sad.
It's just really done a number on me at the end of this show, man. You got anything else you want to say? You got any notes about my dear beloved mother or anything, man?
All I gotta say is, thank you for making me feel great by coming on the show today. You've done. It's always a pleasure talking to you because I feel better about myself by the end of it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, Marky, thank you so much for joining. Everyone else, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe, follow whatever platform you're on, Spotify or YouTube. And if you do want to join in and support the channel, there is a join button down there. You'll get some emotes you can use. But it does help me focus and prioritize this channel because I am focusing and prioritizing Star Citizen stuff right now because that's actually doing well. And you're not going to hear me stop talking about it on the timeline. So get over it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep gaming hard. People are going to think that you actually hate me by the end of that.